I think we only have one cabbage in here that survived, and
It's family garden night. Gone. He's leaving.
So far, everything's growing great.
This year is already going better than last. We should actually have some semblance of a decent garden. Maybe.
Over the winter time, we started a hydroponics garden, which our setup wasn't 100%.
For the hydroponic setup, what we're doing is we're using these PEX pipes, or IPEX pipes, and we're going to be using these little recycled containers, or applesauce containers. I want to put as many here as possible. Since we have 6-ish months of winter, we kind of need to start things in the basement or in a little greenhouse. And because my failure of a greenhouse last year didn't last, we started things inside, and I thought it would be best to try our luck at a hydroponic system. And it's currently -30 outside. So we're growing some itty bitty plants, and I'm excited to see, these are all our little lettuces. And so we're excited to have those and try to grow some of those hydroponically in these that are gonna be strung up here. You'll probably see it in another video, but that's what we got going on here now. The hydroponic system worked a little bit. We were successfully growing tomatoes and lettuce, and it was actually growing really well. It could have used a little bit of circulation for the water, but the downfall was we ran out of fresh firewood about the end of February. What ended up happening was it would just get too cold in the basement, and neither Nicole nor I really wanted to be down there. We'd bring in a little bit of wood here and there, but because the days were starting to warm up, we didn't burn as much, so we didn't really necessitate as much. So I think it just got too cold, especially for the tomatoes that started. But lettuce, I've got lettuce growing behind me. Lettuce pretty much grows in anything, and I think if I can set up that hydroponic system again, growing lettuce would be super simple even throughout the winter.
After that, we were eager to start our seeds, and we started our seeds in March.
We started in little pots and solo cups just to get things started, because they need to be ready to be able to plant in the garden.
Seed process went like every other year. You start with a small little container and see what your seed germination rate is like. Ours was good. We order our seeds from a local New Brunswick company called Rainbow Seeds, and I always find that their seeds pretty much all sprout, or at least almost all sprout.
As soon as it was warm enough to work in the shed, I started working on some planter boxes. Okay, so there is most of it. Then we ended up using some old barrels, some of the blue rain barrels, because they just were the right size. And we were able to cut them up into thirds and then place a bottom on them and then fill those with dirt that we now have in the garden right behind you. There's still plenty to get ready for this season. There's a lot to do. And it still kind of seems overwhelming, but we'll get there, hopefully, doing our best to clean it up, to organize, to be ready for planting season, and just to get ready in general. So let's do some work. I'm gonna turn my headphones on, and we'll get to work. Got a lot moved around here. I'll move so you can see a little better. Got a lot moved around here in the yard. You can start to see the morsel of an idea perhaps coming together. And I suppose, like my mother always said, it's gotta get worse before it gets better. We're starting to look good. I can see what I want to do, what I'm thinking about. The pieces are here, everywhere a little bit, but we're getting there. We're getting somewhere with it anyway. So hopefully it'll keep coming. We'll keep cleaning, we'll move stuff, and then I think this chicken coop, we're gonna build a chicken tractor instead. This chicken coop, built nice and solid, will become a chicken or a tool shed, which will be really nice. Have somewhere to keep shovels and things, and that is exciting. Oh, and whatever you do, don't kid yourself in thinking you can use this as chicken wire. It's awful, and there's little plastic bits of it everywhere. It's the worst. Don't buy this.
As soon as not only it was warm enough, but we were able to get out here and outside a little more, I started work on this fence. The purpose of the fence was really twofold. One, obviously, to keep the animals out. I'm working on getting them in their coop. It's just a lot more work than I thought it would be. And two, to give a perimeter and sort of outline to where we'll be planting and where our rows should go. Oh, and I should probably invest in a post setter because yes, that is an old keg. I mean, hey, it works.
It's family garden night here. I'm all dressed up fancy with my overalls. I finished the fence here.
Now this fence took a surprising amount of work because I always try to scrounge up materials that aren't new because they're cheaper so we can salvage things. And it just made things a little more complicated.
We are trying to get things sorted for where we're gonna put our raised beds. I was talking to somebody today that our last frost date is May 30th, so we still got a few weeks before we really need to be planting stuff or be in a hurry to plant stuff. So hopefully this is good. We're getting stuff, we're layering things with cardboard right now, and then we could put some brush on top of it. I gotta go grab some brush. Maybe Sawyer will help me go grab some brush. And just setting things out. I got a tarp over here, setting over where our garden place will be.
Now this garden isn't the size that I would really want it to be. I want a much larger garden, of course, but I think it's easier to maintain and easier to sort of fail at or do a trial run for when you have a smaller garden. But I think we should still see quite a bit of produce out of what we've been able to plant.
So yeah, happening. Lots. Look, I look so fancy. I'm in my church clothes. So I don't get eaten by bugs. Sawyer, are you getting eaten by bugs, boy? Put your bug net back on so you don't get eaten by bugs, please. Yeah, I think so. We should probably do half and half because I think there's not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, there's 9. So we put 4 on one side, 5 on the other.
This year we didn't make the mistake of taking our plants out too early. Last year we took them out too early and put them in the greenhouse, but again it was too cold and it kind of killed a lot of our seedlings. So this year we patiently waited and we planted them in June, and I am currently sitting in the garden and so far it looks great.
If you take one step then you will be a little closer.
One plant box.
Your dream then if you stay just where you are. Keep that chin held up and fight your battles with your feet.
I'm using a hammer to plant tomatoes.
There's cabbage here too.
Cabbage?
I feel really good about the garden this year, mostly because I actually see things growing. Last year we killed just about everything. I think the issue was we didn't have enough fertilizer, we didn't take all the grass out, so it just got overrun by weeds, which this will probably need to be done soon.
This year we moved where our garden is. Last year it was down by the river. We moved it this year to where the old animal run was. So last year there was pigs, there was bunnies, there was chickens in here. And this year we have repurposed that soil, well, that good fertile soil, and it is now our garden.
We managed to get everything planted, and now they just needed watered in.
Okay, let's go find the keys to the wheeler so that we can hook up our little water pump and get things watered.
Ways of hanging on like wax, dripping off a candle, burning slow.
I'm really excited for this year's garden. Well, hopeful more than excited, I think. Because we should be able to grow things and be able to feed ourselves and be able to can some food, and we'll see. I don't know. We still have a few months yet before we actually produce anything, or at least a month. It's been so cold, but yeah, I think it'll be good. There are still going to be plenty of things to forage and to harvest throughout the property, from raspberries and apples and just various fruits and foods that we're learning about more and more as we discover the property. So in the coming months, we'll be able to see better what we're able to produce, what we're able to harvest, and whether or not we're gonna be able to survive the wintertime.
I know that I have a better sprinkler system somewhere else, like one of the stabby ones that you stab in the ground. I just don't know where it is. So we'll use this for now. I gotta build a couple more things. Oh, it fell over, that's good. Unplug. Unplug. Off. What's happening down? Oh, that's why. It's probably not getting enough water. The water has gone down since I installed that, apparently. That's fine. That's fine. We'll figure that out later. For now, it's been watered in. I'm gonna go get a drink, and then I think we need to finish the rest of the garden.
Chill. Chill. Stop that. All right. Cut.